Well, welcome back, and at long last I get to come back to doing We Are Greener. Now, we started this project well over a year ago, and we started with buying Fiona's electric vehicle. Now, obviously that meant a home charger, but there was a deal, so we got a Zappi installed. We then spent a bit of time getting our meter upgraded in order to have a smart meter, in order to have the electric car charger anyway. We thought, well, what else can we do that's greener? So first thing we did was to change all the radiators or the valves in the house in order to have the Tado smart meter stuff on it, which means I can turn heat on and off on a per radiator basis, which I couldn't do before, so that was good. So that was a next greener step for us, apart from the fact I can control things via an app on the phone, which was also good. But I don't think I fully comprehended what was going to be required for the next stage. Watch this. Well, that's it. Order has been placed. Do you know how when you start a project, other things affect that project? Well, that's exactly what's happened to me. So the next stage of going greener for us is to actually put some solar panels on the roof. I haven't placed any orders for that yet. We're nearly there, so we're 1 or 2 weeks away from sorting that out. But they're looking at an install date of somewhere around about August time anyway. End of August, September, that type of thing. So that said, the guy came out and did a little local survey, the location of where he's going to put all the gubbins, not the solar panels, obviously they go on the roof, but it's the gubbins. So we decided that the best place to put it is actually in the garage, plonk it on the wall, and the other side of the wall is where the gas meter and electric meters and things are anyway, so that helps from that point of view. And then a little bit of room there to put the batteries on, which is great. However, he did say you're going to have to move all this stuff off the wall, which I kind of thought about in my head, and then thought, actually, where am I going to put all that stuff? So this then took me onto this other little problem. Let me just grab this camera and I'll show you. So that is my garden shed, and it's full. There's no room in it whatsoever. So I'm now thinking I need to get a bigger shed. So this is what I've just placed the order for. So that is going to be the garden shed. By the way, this is from a company called Tiger. They're based up north somewhere. Seem to have fairly decent feedback, so I'll just put that back on here. It's going to have a double doors on one side so I can get all the stuff in it. And then this end is going to be kind of an office space, because it's actually going to be 10 foot deep. That is 8 foot deep currently, so it's going to be a 2 foot more than that, but it's going to be 14 foot long. So it's kind of where that little greenhouse thing is. See, it's going to be that big. So that's the plan. So order now. They've got 5 to 6 week delivery time. That's no good to me. I've actually placed an order. The reason why I placed the order now is because they have quite a good deal on. So I'm getting 20% discount on it. What I've also done on the order is I've said to them that I'm quite glad to have it, but it's going to have to wait until I come back from holiday. We have to talk about other knock-on effects, because what I need to do is create space in order to bring all that stuff that's in there, in here, so that I can knock all that down and take it to the tip. And then obviously do the base on it, because I need to get that bigger than it is. Oh, there's another job as well. In order to get space for all that lot, I need to shift all that up, and I can't shift it all the way up because that tree's in the way. So that's got to come out of the way first, and then I can shift it all up to give us room for that. Look at the roots of that bloody thing. Don't get yourself one of them trees. We just planted that purely as a decorative measure, which I'm bothered now. Well, that's that bit done. That's the shed empty. Not quite finished though, because I've got the electrics to take off and then solar panels to take down. And then, oh no, the electric cable runs underneath the grass and it comes up there into a socket. You can just about see it. Comes up there into a socket down there. It's another job then. Well, that's that. So the electrics are done, solar panels are off, the roof is off. The rest of it should be fairly straightforward. Well, that's it, it's down. Yeah, but I see what you're looking at. There's another job in there. See that fence? Doesn't look very good, does it? I think you're going to need to paint the fence. In fact, you might have to paint the whole garden because you can't just do a little bit, can you? And so we started. We started on where the bit where the shed's going to go, including the little bit above the brickwork there. And then we got on with the base. And then we returned back to this and did the whole lot. See, another job that led on to another job. We now have a surface, just got to brush in some of that blue circle cement. It is 31 degrees tomorrow, 28 degrees today. So pop that in and then it hardens with rain. Or with water, and it's supposed to be raining at the weekend. Patio down, a whole heap of earth to go where I'm stood. That's where that was. I managed to get the root ball off. Now I'm trying to saw that in half. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, we decide to wake our neighbours up. Oh yes, and not forgetting the tarpaulin and wood preserver. And there we have it. It's been delivered. Now the only thing for David and I to do is to try and get all this lot round the back. First let's have a look and see what's in there. And it looks like it's on pallets with these bits of wood tacked on. I think it goes all the way around. Yeah, it does, look. And it's on that side as well. Alright. So that all has to come off. This plastic is actually not too bad actually. We can use that as probably a damp proof course, or I shall probably just cover it all back up once I've moved it. And so after getting the caravan back, after its little 12 volt issue, we can now start taking this lot round the back. Can't we, David? Where are you? He's disappeared again. I knew I'd find him, but anyway, we begin the task of taking it all round to the back, and we'll stick it on that base that we've erected, and then we'll sort out in piles what goes where. Well, it's been delivered. We have a delivery now. The reason why I got two of them is because I ordered another one of these paint preserver things. There's nothing on the website that say that you might need two, but when I phoned them up and said no, one of those is designed for like an 8x6 shed, so you need two of them for the size of the log cabin that we've got. So that's those two. Just pop them down there, and you get, oh, where is it? There it is. This little plastic bag, and in this little plastic bag are your instructions. And as my son said to me, you get more instructions with Lego than you do with this. They are a bit. You could do better, I'm afraid, Tiger Shaz. A decent book would be good on the building instructions. This is your instructions. Right, 2 pages of A4, beginning to end. So you get the 8 tannalized, that just means treated against water. They're already down. I put some damp proof course down it, and I had some spare loft insulation, so I put one of those down just to give it a try. But the key thing here is you make this sturdy by putting half logs down, which is, I've got some spare ones there. They actually came with it. I have no idea what they're for, those ones, because the diagram that you get with it, which is your base, right, shows you that there's the 4 logs, there's the 8 tannalized logs, and then floorboards on top, but it doesn't mention about the cut logs. Now there is a reason for that. If you look at these 2 end elevations, these are where the cut logs are, and they're missing on the bottom of this diagram. I know they're missing because I actually went and phoned them up a couple of weeks ago to work out the sizes, insulation and all that lot. And if you have a look down the bottom, the cut logs are down the bottom there, right? So if you take that one, the end elevation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, have a look at their diagram, it's missing. So the very beginning of how you start the build is actually missing. So yeah, I think you need better instructions. So I'm going to have to use both of those. Now also, what I've noticed on this one, it says the letters RH. It does actually say it on here, RH, because I ordered the reduced height version as well, so we don't need planning as much. Well, as much, we don't need planning, end off. But there is another one of these which hasn't got the RH on the end of it, and the dimensions for the roof are obviously different as well, so bear that in mind too. So I phoned them up and they sent me this. This is the one that's got, you know, not missing down the edge. I mean, that, for example, it says something times tab, I don't even know what that's about, tanbat, but it's actually tannalized. If we have a look on here, 8 tanbat, right? The next thing down, something 5 floorboards, 35 floorboards. So this is an uncut PDF. This is a photocopy, and it looks like it's been missed. So you can see some of the words are missing. Right. So what else do you get? Well, you get a massive bag of nails and screws, all different sizes. So I put those into little packages ready to go, and then you get this little box, because I ordered the 5 lever upgrade to our locks. And that's what that is, so I'll keep that to one side. And then you get this that I thought must have been the instructions and the booklet, but it isn't. So I opened the packet, and inside there's a handle for something I know not what yet. Don't know what that's for. And in there, once you open up this nice little packaging, you get a brochure, which is all about how green, sustainable, all that stuff and the videos and things you can get online. Right, and this is what's in there. So they spent all the effort in, because these are bits for the outside of the shed, obviously advertising a tiger, and when you join the two bits at the top and back together. Very nice, I thought. Spent the money on the instructions, in my view. And that's it. So we're going to slowly but surely build it. That's what you get with it. And by the way, all this is in randomly strewn within the packaging. When you get it, you open it all up, you start taking logs out and things appear. So they're all over the place in there. But apart from that,
I wanted to give the base of it a little bit more oomph. So I ordered 2 damp-proof course membranes. One's down already in the form of a little tray. When I did the loft insulation, I had some spare rolls left over, so I'm putting those in between the gaps, and then what I'll do is I'll put the other membrane on top, and then we'll fix the floorboards and carry on the build from there. And so this brings us on to next week. We have our mallets ready, and we have our hammers ready for all them nails, because there's quite a few floorboards to go down, but we should be ready to rock and roll, and we can have a look together to see what the delights of this project will be.
in the meantime, all this remains for me to do is say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.